I got a request for a sketchbook tour. I think it'll be cool to show you the progression of how my artwork started about here. And this is where my artwork is now. Getting better at drawing is a process. It's not something you can learn overnight. I hope this inspires you to continue on your art journey. Let's get into it. I just showed you the kindergarten drawing. These are from elementary school and early middle school. This one has no arms. Here I attempted to draw some hands. I remember I had this manga drawing book, so that's why the eyes are drawn in this style. That was something that I was really into drawing. I didn't really watch manga or anything or read too much of it, but it was something that I was interested as a kid, as an art style. This next segment is high school. So I'm gonna start off with early high school. You can see they don't really look too different from the previous drawings that I showed you. This was definitely 2010. I had to be 14 or 15. You can see there's a little bit of improvement. I kind of had a good sense of proportion and drawing things realistically, just not drawing people realistically. I did like doing portraits. My portraits started getting a little bit better. Side note, isn't this glass so cute? It's like a double thermal. This next segment is still high school, but this is while going to the FIT pre-college program. So if you don't know, FIT, the Fashion Institute of Technology, it's a college in New York, they offer middle school and high school classes. Anyone can go to these classes. You have to pay, I think it was like maybe 500 or 600 for the semester, and you go every Saturday. The classes that I took were fashion design techniques, fashion art for fashion designers, and then later on I took junior special occasion. These are my high school FIT transcripts. If you're in high school and you really want to go to FIT and into the fashion design program, I really recommend them. I feel like you can see a big jump from my art style when I was 14, 15 to 16, 17. You can see they're taller, but still a little cartoonish, but it's getting better. This was when I was 16. You can definitely see the Rihanna influence in these designs. We had to design something for a celebrity or performer. I chose Rihanna, obviously. So those are some thumbnails. This was absolutely very Kylie Jenner inspired. Special occasion looks. Here is the dress. It's so funny, like the drawings, they have personalities. So this one, she likes J-Lo. This was something I drew when I was 16. You can see there's more 3D going on here. The figures are very tall, and in my opinion, the faces improved. Here I'm doing more angles. I think this is so freaking cute. It's also high school. I even started a fashion illustration club when I was in high school. This wasn't the final poster, but yeah. This is my high school portfolio that got me into FIT. This dress, I remember I drew this countless times over and over and over to get it right. And we had to do flat sketches. So this was something that I learned in the portfolio class as well. This is another drawing. As you can see, we had to put in the swatches and their description. This was like the mood board. That is the portfolio that got me into FIT. A little self-promo. I'm offering a new service. If you are applying to FIT, the fashion design program, and you want someone to look at your portfolio, you want a better chance of getting into FIT, you can email me photos of your portfolio and I can take a look at them for a fee. This is not affiliated with FIT. I want to make that clear. I'm someone who has graduated from FIT. I took the pre-college portfolio class. I got into FIT with my portfolio. I was in art specialization at FIT, and senior year, my artwork was displayed in the FIT lobby. I know what FIT is looking for. If you want me to look over your portfolio and you want a better chance of getting into FIT for the fashion design program, contact me. Okay, back to the video. Next up, I'm gonna start showing you college. I started changing the way my faces were drawn. This is kind of more similar to how my faces are drawn now. I practiced drawing a lot. This was one of the first projects. The flats are not bad. This was another early project, iconic Chanel project. I remember being really inspired by Rooney Mara, kind of stuck with the little ruffles, lots of details. The faces looked not too bad. These were the flats. I remember for this project, we had to actually go into a Chanel boutique or Chanel store and try on the clothes. So I remember I pretended that I was shopping for my boss at my internship or whatever, and I tried on a bunch of different Chanel clothes. So that was kind of a cute memory. These are some examples of the homework that was given. Stuff like this, and also just like technical, making sure that the drawings were actually accurate in terms of construction. Freshman year, we were required to take a life drawing class, so we had different models come in of different shapes and sizes. We would sit down and draw them for hours. And we filled up a lot of these like huge sketchbooks. This was a really good class to practice anatomy and drawing from real life. And I feel like this definitely did help improve my fashion figures. It's important to know how a real body looks before you can exaggerate it. We also took a model drawing class where we had a very tall, thin model wearing fashion outfits, and that class was a lot of fun. We practiced drawing her in these sketchbooks. This was Giambattista Valli, fall 2014 Couture. Very fun. This is like for like a fashion history maybe or something, I don't know. It was some sort of computer class, but I remember this was like probably the first time I did a digital rendering. The designs are like kind of corny, but you know, whatever. This project was one of my favorites. For this project, we had to choose a designer from a list, an iconic designer from the past, Geoffrey Beene, Schiaparelli, Pierre Cardin. I don't remember what the other ones were, but we had to pick a designer, research them, and create work based on, like, inspired by their work, as if you were a new designer coming into the house of Geoffrey Beene. What would you design? Something like this. Has this whimsical Alice in Wonderland twist to it because Geoffrey Beene used to have things with cartoon characters, and he was always had these like elegant cuts. There was no side seam. His clothes wrapped around the body. I thought that was very cool. So this was my take on it. It's very fun, whimsical. I think the illustrations are nice. And this would be like the illusion of a collar, but it's inset in the top. Same with the bustier as well. I think it's cute. This would be the fabric. Very whimsical. I have an entire pile of sketches of thumbnail sketches to go with this. So I had a lot of different ideas. This was another one. We had to make our own like envelopes for the presentation. This is my mood board. That's pretty cute. It's a vibe. Played around with digital rendering. It's alright, it's not bad. Fabrics. I'm pretty sure these are from like B&J. I think the original sketches look even better in my opinion. Here I even have a journal from this collection. This is cute. This is a different art style. It's more flat. I was really into micron markers and I tried my hand out at digital rendering, although I don't really like love it. The ombre. So these drawings, it's part of the same collection. I was 19, I had a crush at the time. The guy, he called me his muse, so that's what I've done. Very corny, I know. It was short-lived. This was 4th semester. I was in art specialization. We had to make like a collection for the brand that we chose. I don't remember if it was like a lower end version of the brand, like a Givenchy times Zara or something like that. I don't remember. Little inspo page. Fabrics. Sketches, flats. Flats were so difficult for me at this time. I remember staying up until like 2 a.m. and practically like crying because flats were so hard at this time. And yeah, I like was playing with my style again. You can see these figures are a bit shorter. They're a little bit more cartoonish. They're cute. Not my favorites, but I like the layout of this lookbook. It's super cute. I made like a mini version of it before getting it printed to like lay out how I wanted everything to look. That's cool. And the technique was so fun. This was painted on vellum paper. No idea when this is from. This is like definitely like a sophomore year. I don't think this was for a project. This might have just been like for fun. These are something I have like no recollection of drawing. I don't know when I drew these, why I drew these, what project. This is a fashion journal that I did. This is also around the same time I was 19. You know, I had a crush, so it's a little corny. The cover ripped off of this thing. This is cute. I thought this was a cute concept, like with the fabric swatches. Something like that. These were my sketches, thumbnail sketches. The sketches looked something like this. I think they had a lot of potential, but I was playing with my style and like I drew the figures more cartoonish and I don't really like it that much. I think that I didn't really do it full justice because these are, I think they're like creative. Like what, this is what they looked like. The fabrics I chose were really nice though. This was the same semester, the same class. We had multiple projects going on at once for art specialization. Here I did a better job of making things look a little bit more realistic. Like I love the way I did the shoes and the socks. I think that's cool. This was the fabric page, which I thought was very creative, very cute. This is what the figures look like. The colors were more muted because things were not going so well with my crush. So the color palette gets a little more muted, a little darker. You see, like these, like you can't even see the details. I kind of, not the best, not my best work. This was some artwork. This is like a post, like after things have ended, you know, it's sad. So the girls are crying, but they're crying like diamonds, you feel? And I had a little fashion show. 2 friends wore the clothes that I made. There's some more sad girl drawing. This was a freehand portrait. This was a drawing of my friend Caitlin. She's now like kind of a big TikTok star. These are some pages from my athleisure project. This was from my journal. I thought this style was so cute, like the leaving the white lines as the seam lines. I was experimenting with digital rendering. I don't think it came out that good. It came out like a little bit flat. All right, so this collection was, I think, junior. It was not good, to be honest. I mean, it was like creative. It was supposed to be an avant-garde collection. That was the prompt of the project. So I did a shoe inspired collection. Like, I think this is like creative, but I don't know. I just did not do the rendering well. I played with paint, with like gouache and watercolor, but I didn't use watercolor paper. I definitely used regular computer paper, and then I scanned the images, so it came out super splotchy. And to go with it, I had an entire sketchbook of drawings of shoes, which were actually quite good. Okay, wait, these are so cute. I remember I would actually go and sit in the shoe salon at Bergdorf Goodman, and I would just sketch shoes. Like, I would bring my sketchbook and my colored pencils, and I don't know if the sales associates were annoyed with me or not, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, look how cute. They came out really good, in my opinion. Little shoe series, Christian Dior. Ooh. Here I was drawing some like lingerie. I remember we had some sort of class for instant apparel. Or maybe not class, but it was like a project prompt. Again, these were for the lingerie project. So I went for this vibe instead. Pink, quirky, digital rendering. The only problem with this is that you really couldn't see all of the details in some of the looks. My flats got a lot better. A lot better. And I think they look a little bit better, maybe without the pink background. They had potential. They had potential. Like, my actual sketches were so much better. I wish I did a better job at the rendering. This was part of a knitwear collection. Definitely quirky girl vibes. I love cats, so you know, I had to incorporate cats in there. This was kind of cute, not bad. Like, this was cute. I made the thumbnails super cartoonish. I don't know why, but I was just going through this phase of, you know, kind of cartoonish looks. Eventually, I got tired of the cartoonish, stylized aesthetic, and I started to play with realism. This was a Celine collection, and I wanted them to look realistic. This one looks a little bit more realistic, but it's not as real as the other ones. I really like this collection. I think it's cute. I think I did good job on the bodies. Rendering could use some work. This one I think looks better. Flats got a little bit better. Realism was my new thing. This was for a design competition. I remember, I forgot her name. She's like Bella Hadid's friend. And there was this competition at school that we could design like an evening gown for her, and if she liked the design, it would get made and she wore it. And actually my friend won that competition, so that's pretty cool. Year was 2016, so. And I had a matching makeup look to go for each one. Edgy queen. Chokers were like the it girl thing to wear. Hair. The professor didn't submit any of my designs though, so. More sketches. Again, I was kind of playing with, I wanted them to be like a little bit more realistic. I was pretty proud of this. Between breaks for realism, I like to just play. It's a sketch for a jacket that ultimately became this. I drew for fun. Very into realism. This class was like the death of me almost. Fashion history. And then each week we designed a collection for each era. So for example, this was the Gibson girl era, and then I designed like a little collection to go with it. And I swear I was always designing these collections like the morning of, because we always had so much going on. Like I remember just being in the computer lab and just printing all these pictures out and like, oh my god. Here I'm continuing with the realistic figures. This is a men's figure. They're a little bit shorter, but they are more realistic, more like thumbnails. This project was from the CFDA project that we had to submit. It was like for a competition. I did a mix of colored pencil and digital rendering. I think this one's very cool. Let me show you some of the flats. Another collection. This is in my portfolio as well. There's more deliveries to this one. This is just part of this project. These are some of the original sketches. Still into the realism. The next segment is post-grad. What did my art look like after graduation? So, right after graduation, I knew that I wanted to start my own business, and that's exactly what I did. I started a pattern making and sewing business, and I worked for small brands. For example, a client had an idea for a pair of pants, so I would draw out a front and back sketch for them. I'd advise them on what kind of fabric would be best for this, and then I would sew it and they'd pay me. So that was my business model originally. So that's what my art looked like at this time. I used a lot of the figures I had done in college. During this period of dediosnewyork.com, which was my pattern making and sewing business, I was definitely drawing a lot less, and I was sewing a lot more and making videos as well to market my business. So other things that I did draw, they were more just for fun. This is something that I drew. This is in black and white. This is in color. Another thing I drew for fun, this was the 100 Heads challenge. And I had so much fun experimenting with different kind of faces and different colors and it was just so much fun. If you haven't done this challenge before, I really recommend it. There's more on the back. I would draw every single day. While I was embarking on my business journey, first time business owner, I was like, wow, this is actually pretty hard. I need another source of income. So I got a job as an assistant designer, and this is some of my work that I did. Just like a very few sketches, and then I rendered them on the computer afterwards, but I don't have those files anymore. And I was doing a lot of flat sketches as well. At this time, I was still working as an assistant designer. I was still doing freelance assistant designer work. I was still taking orders for my custom patterns and sewing business. And I was doing YouTube, and I was trying to design a collection. So here are some sketches from that. Let's go through them. This was the butterfly collection. Had a lot of different mood board pieces. I really was feeling like a casual glamour. If you've seen my mini handbag tutorial and bucket hat tutorial, that's from this era. I was doing lots of sketches. Loved jackets. Oh, denim jacket era, that too. If you watched my sewing tutorial for that as well. I also started developing my logo. This was the first initial logo. These are original stencils that I did. I cut out a piece of paper and I spray painted jackets. This one too, this one's a little more beat up. This was a technique I learned in school. Lots of t-shirt ideas, logo developments. This was a sketch for a hoodie that I actually did develop. I actually did make a small collection from all these sketches. If you have seen my video, How to Design a Collection, that's the collection. Did I ever produce it? Like make more than just the samples? I did not. It ended up being, you know, like I realized like, wow, this is actually expensive. Like a lot of the pieces that I made are labor intensive. Like This is very labor intensive. Blazers are very labor intensive and expensive to make, and I just didn't have money at the time, so kind of shelved that project. I also photographed that collection on my own, which was not a good idea because I am not a photographer. And I just remember being so discouraged. I wanted to give up at this point. YouTube was not working out for me. I just felt so lost at this time. I had maybe like 400 subscribers. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? But yeah, so I'm happy I didn't give up though. Each one of these butterflies took me like 45 minutes, maybe even an hour. Splotchy butterfly, this is like white. At this time, I picked up a fashionary sketchbook as well. I remember being in New York, working at the time, and these were sold at this bookstore next to Whole Foods, not too far away from the office that I worked at. These are like January 2020. And then I start getting into February 2020. I actually did make a YouTube video about this, about designing a collection. This is February 2020. I was going to start another collection. I ordered fabric and I tried doing samples and everything on my own. And of course it didn't work out. So this is still 2020. Here I'm just drawing more for fun. Like I said, art is my passion. This was later in 2020. You might have seen this button-down shirt tutorial I have here on YouTube. These are some other sketches that went along with my mini collection. And I actually did make like several pieces. I made the red shirt, I made this like dress. It was like a shirt dress with a crinkled material. I made a trench coat. Did I make jeans? No, I already had jeans. I made something else. I don't remember, but again, it's hard it's hard. This is from 2021. I got Copic markers. I felt like it was time. I was like, I feel like I'm a real artist now and I can use fancy supplies. So I bought Copic markers, absolutely love them. This drawing I have on TikTok. Here I was coming up with a little line plan for a collection to be professionally made. And I was going to different factories in Manhattan and getting quotes, and they were very, very, very expensive. And I actually ended up seeking a factory in Poland instead. And not these looks, something different. These sketches are also in my fashionary sketchbook, and this is around the time when I got a partnership with Fashionary, which is very cool. I have a discount code, Natalia10 for 10% off. You know, this was like a dream come true. I, had been obsessed with Fashionary. I remember before, I think I first became aware of Fashionary in maybe 2018, and then I got my first Fashionary in 2019, and I have a partnership with them now in 2021. So the growth, I think, is it's very exciting. It really is like a dream to partner with Fashionary. These are a few of my other sketches you might have seen in my fashion design vlogs, the more recent ones. These are my most recent sketches. This is a new sketchbook from Fashionary. And I love how convenient and easy it is to use. The figures have a very light dotted outline, so it's perfect for whatever stage of drawing you are at. If you are more advanced at drawing or if you're a beginner, this is perfect for you. So, and they also have a memo pad as well. I want to say thank you to Fashionary for sending this sketchbook to me, and if you would like, you can use my discount code Natalia10 for 10% off your entire order on fashionary.org. I hope that you enjoyed the progression of art. Remember, being good at art, it's not an overnight thing. It takes a lot of practice. If you have any questions about drawing, let me know. I also have some drawing tutorials. I'll link those down below. And don't forget, for this upcoming season, I'm offering a new service, a portfolio critique for applying to FIT. I would be happy to do that for a fee. You can email me down below and we can set something up. So, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.